Well, it's that time again. It's another update. This is update number 4, and things are going along pretty well. So this time I have added a whole bunch of new things. I got probably about a dozen to 20 things I've added this time, and we'll just go through them, and then I will hook the adapter up to my capture card and take some video and explain some more things on there. So just to start off, I've added a DVI mode, so if you want to play your games without audio, or if you're going to use the analog audio out of your NES, you can use the DVI mode, which may work better if you want pixel by pixel and you don't really care so much about expansion chips. And then I've got the screen is now centered, and there is an option now so you can adjust the centering of the screen. So if you want it shifted left or right, some because of your monitor, if it overscans or whatever, you could do that now. Then I fixed the masking, so now there's no more extraneous pixels at the top, bottom, and sides of the screen. And I set the audio volumes to the WAV files and MP3s and FLACs that I found on the internet. And I mean, of course, you can adjust them to suit your taste, but I have matched them up pretty well to these for default. Then I added a power-up message now, so when you turn it on, it tells you what buttons you have to hit to activate the menu. I added all the hotkey selection now, so you can select the various hotkeys for all the things that this can do, like overclocking. And I added the overclocking, and you can select the clock source for the audio, so when you're overclocking, if you want the audio pitch to be proper, you could do that now. Because if you overclock a regular NES, the pitch of the audio will rise as you overclock, and if you like that, you could do that here also, but if you don't, you could turn that off. And then I also got the palette selection working, so I have 4 different palettes in there. I'll go over that. Now the timer actually works now on the menu, so you can actually watch how long you've been playing. You can hit the start button and it will reset this timer. And I have all the correct info now, like the resolution is correct and all that, so that's all working now. And I fixed the Power Pack NSF player, so it'll automatically select the proper chips, so you don't have to go in the menu and select them. And I made the second controller work, so you can actually adjust all the audio stuff while it's playing. And I also made it so when you stop or restart the song, or you exit the NSF player, it'll shut up all the extra chips that you were using, so it won't keep playing. So those were 3 major things that I had to do, and it was very easy to do, and I'll release that when I release this, so you can throw that on your Power Pack and have it work. And then of course the biggest thing that I have not yet done is the EDID, which is the monitor ID. But I bought a HDMI protocol analyzer off of eBay to help with this, and when we get that, I'll probably do a teardown video if you want to see what's inside it, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty advanced piece of test equipment, so I'm very curious what it's going to look like inside. So as Dave Jones would say, don't turn it on, take it apart. So I'll get that Friday. I don't know when I'll actually do a teardown video. I'll obviously want to make sure the thing fully works before I do that. So unlike Dave Jones, I am going to turn it on before I take it apart. So other than that, that's what has been going on. And after today, my HDMI adapter probably is not going to work for a couple days, because I'm having what they call a flag day. And if you don't know what that is, I'll link that down below. But basically what it is I'm going to be changing how a lot of it works internally, and I can't really go back once I do this, so everything's going to be all totally broken while I am in the process of redoing the software side of things, because I just ran out of memory, and I just don't have any more memory. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to rearrange how things work inside so I can get a lot more space to work with, because I really want that audio register display doodad working, and obviously I don't have any ROM or RAM left to do that, so this will fix that little problem. So now we'll go over to I'll hook it up to the computer and we'll start capturing, and I'll start explaining what I've done. So now you can actually see where it says press A for menu, and if you update the hotkey, it will tell you what you have to press here also. So then you can hit anything and it will go away. So I'll just run through some of the things that I've added. Here, I'll skip ahead. Okay, we'll run through the things I've updated since last time. So now the resolution selection actually works. Under video, the palette selection actually works now, so you can select the FCUX palette, Beware's palette, the Play Choice Pen 10 palette, or you can have black and white. So if you want black and white, you can actually have black and white. So I'll put that back on FCEUX palette. And then the cropping has been fixed, so this actually works properly. Now it cuts up to 16 pixels off of each of the sides. And the bottom I've cut off a couple more because various displays seem to act a bit different. So, and then the other thing is horizontal position. So like right now it doesn't look centered, so I can move this over until I think it looks centered. And when the thumb is in the middle of the bar there, that's the position where the video is actually centered on the signal. But I noticed a lot of monitors, they seem to actually shift the picture over left or right some when they overscan, so this lets you kind of fix that little problem. And then the audio, I haven't done anything in there. And then under settings, I added all the hotkeys now, so these are all the things you can do. You can do, the menu hotkey is just the A button right now, but I mean, if you wanted the A and B button or select an A, you could do that. And then like overclock, underclock, and all that. And then you can select which controller the hotkeys are on. Right now they're on controller 2. And then the DVI mode, which turns the HDMI features off like audio, because if you have an older monitor, it may not like all that extra stuff on the signal, so you can put it to DVI mode. And when you do this, you can still get the audio if you just use the analog audio coming out of your NES, because that still works. And then finally the audio clock, and this has to do with overclocking, and I'll demonstrate that here in a minute. And then of course the about screen, that's all working now, so it has like the shouts out and it cycles through a bunch of people's names. And then save settings, and what this does is if you change anything, you can actually save the settings. So like right now I'll save these settings and it'll save them like that, so the next time I power the system up, it will work exactly how I want it to work. And so I kind of like that better than an auto saving. So this way you can make a whole bunch of changes, and it doesn't you don't have to save them. When you power cycle it, it'll be back to the way it was. And then the other thing that was finished here is now it actually shows you the proper resolution, the palette, and the elapsed timer. So if you hit start, it resets that elapsed timer like I just did there. So that's that. We'll get out of the menu and I'll demonstrate the overclocking here. We'll start the game, and okay, now I will demonstrate the overclocking. So I'll start World 1 here, and I'll sit up here, and then I will hit the hotkey to actually overclock, and you'll hear the audio pitch rise when I do that. Every time I do it, the pitch goes up more because the CPU is running faster, so that's as fast as it'll go. So now the pitch is all really high, but now if I go into that menu and I change that setting for the audio clock, it will fix the audio clock. So now the audio clock is running off the PPU, which always runs at the same speed regardless of if you're overclocking or not. So now the pitch has been fixed. So that's one thing that always bugged me about overclocking, is the audio would always sound really funny. So I'll put it back to the way it was, just so you can tell that I'm actually overclocking, and then I will un-overclock here. And then I will skip ahead to World 1-2. Okay, in World 1-2 here, when you get to that second pipe that spits out the Goombas, right here, I'll kill that red one, because he's an asshole. When you get 5 Goombas on the screen here, it will lag out. So there's 4. Whoops. This is very, very hard to play through the capture card. So there's 4. I can't see what's happening because the capture card keeps locking up, but once you get 5 of them, yeah, the frame rate, it's going really slow right now. So now if I go in and overclock here, like that. I'll overclock it all the way. So now when you get 5 Goombas on the screen, it won't lag at all. So I got, I think, 4, there's 5, and it's no longer lagging. It's kind of hard to keep 5 on the screen. Yeah, there we go, there's 5. Oh, there, and the capture card just locked up again. So now if I unoverclock, and yeah, the status bar seems to vibrate sometimes on this, even when it's not overclocked, and I think it's the PowerPack's IRQ handler. Yeah, there, and the capture card just locked up again, so I couldn't see what I was doing, but anyways, you get the idea. So I'll load this NSF here to show that everything works, and this NSF uses some of the expansion audio. So it will automatically turn that expansion audio on for me. I do not have to go in the menu to turn it on or off. So that's really nice. And then when you actually quit playing an NSF, it will shut the chips up for you. So now that it's playing, like if I select, like, say this song, for example, and then I can actually go in the menu and go in the audio settings, and I can actually change like volumes and all that now. So if you want to hear just the expansion audio, you can do that. So turn it all the way down like that. So that's just the expansion audio. Turn it back up where it was. So, and then of course we do the panning if you want to change all that. And of course the viewer doesn't work right now, as I explained before, but yeah, so all that's working now. So then when I exit the NSF, it'll shut the sound chips up and they won't keep playing anymore. Well, that's it for this update. So I've had a few people complain that my updates have been too long, so but I just don't want to do like a whole bunch of rapid fire updates and have people kind of say, oh wow, that's too many updates. So I don't know, maybe put in the comments if you want more updates that are smaller, or if what I'm doing is fine. But I mean, I can do more updates that are shorter, but I just thought it'd be nicer to do kind of a little digest update of everything I've done over the past couple weeks. So, but I don't think there's going to be a whole lot more updates after this, because all the functionality's in there now. So at this point, it's all just fixing bugs and getting all the last little bits done. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take at this point to finish, but I'm guessing a couple more weeks. Because I got to redo all of the codes, so that's going to take a couple days probably, because I ran out of room. So now I'm going to do some magic in there to get back more space, so that's going to take a little bit of time. But other than that, everything seems to work. So, and all the functionality I wanted is pretty much in there right now, and once I get the HDMI analyzer, that's going to help quite a bit too. So I'll make sure everything I'm sending out is good. I'm pretty sure it is, but I'll be able to confirm, and then I'll be able to attempt the EDID mess. And so that's pretty much about it. So until next time.